Hello and welcome to Community Engagement. My name is Courtney Shuley and I come to you from the Northeast Education Services Cooperative out of Devils Lake, where I'm the Student Services Specialist. Today we are going to be talking about community engagement as well as community partners. I'll be sharing a few ideas as well as examples, experiences, and kind of summing a few things up to help you out. Before we get started, let's have a little bit of an energizer. Sometimes working online, we need that extra boost. If you could please touch something blue around you, touch something that is a square around you, touch something that is warm around you, and touch something that is open. Thank you for taking a moment to do that. First, let's look at the definition of community engagement. The CDC, the Center of Disease and Control and Prevention, defines community engagement as the process of working collaboratively with and through groups of people affiliated by geographic proximity, special interests, or similar situations to address issues affecting the well-being of those people. It is a powerful vehicle for bringing about environmental and behavioral changes that will improve the health of the community and its members. It often involves the partnerships and coalitions that help mobilize resources and influence systems, change relationships among partners, and serve as a catalyst for changing policies, programs, and practices. If we think about how we involve our programs in community engagement and community partners, I feel that definition very strongly fits in with 21st century programming. We think about our rural areas and we like to get involved with the programs, the businesses, and the resources that are within our reach. It is definitely beneficial for not only the students and the teachers in the school, but also the business and or the company involved. Let's talk about partnership. A partnership is two businesses working together. I'm sure you have some sort of partnership form and they all may look a little different, but a few things to think about is a description. What did this partner do with or for your program? Did they present? Did they interact? Did they share? Provide a display? Did you travel to them? What service did they provide? A lesson, an experiment, content, fun, entertainment. In order to make this effective, communication would have needed to take place, so you will need their contact information also. What makes for a strong partnership? The Aspen Institute suggests strong partnerships are formed by putting students at the center. All partners approach the work with a commitment to putting students and their needs first. Having an aligned vision and a common language for successfully integrating social, emotional, and academic development with partners engaged in the visioning. Collaboratively developing clear goals and metrics that align with the vision, including a commitment to share data that can drive continuous improvement, if that is necessary. Selecting partners who have evidence of successfully providing social, emotional, and academic supports, providing high level of commitment, leadership, and oversight at both the district and school level and through an intermediary organization or nonprofit that can coordinate key players and ensure the right services and partners are brought inside the school. Of course, meaning safety. Creating formal agreements such as common memos of understanding, possibly background checks, and facilities sharing agreements to efficiently and effectively broker services and ensure agreed upon expectations for the partnership are met. Identify the strengths of each organization in order to provide a continuum of supports for students before, during, and after school, from enrichment to intensive case management services, while avoiding overlaps and redundancies across organizations. Building open two-way communications both formally and informally, to build trust, transparency, and effectiveness among schools and the community partners. Committing to implementing rigorous standards and training to ensure high-quality programming. Committing to multi-year partnerships to ensure that continuity required for sustained student progress, and bringing additional resources, such as the ability to leverage diverse public and private sector funds to the table to subside costs to schools and to help engage the community to support broader school and district goals. Although some of those were pretty intense, I feel like they all sum up student-centered, clear goals, effective communication, because we don't want people just to come into our programs and just stand there. They need a guide. And that is kind of something that is really important. I also have another segment that you can check out that is specific to STEM 2D, and they have a storytelling option. However, you may not have something formal. When I think of partners, I often think of people who are not used to engaging with students during the day, who are outside of the school, and therefore we want to make sure that we give them some sort of prompts, give them some sort of idea of and expectations. If you already have something in place to do that, that is fabulous. If you need some ideas, I do have a separate segment that you can check out that has that, and maybe you can tailor it to what you are doing. However, creating a formal agreement is really important, and I really like how they stress multi-year partnerships, because it is really great to build that foundation and to have a strong partnership with somebody on a regular basis. Perhaps you have 1 or 2 partnerships that happen on a yearly basis, and then you have a few that trickle in and out, or you have new ones arise, which is also really great. Another thing that partnerships can do is provide additional resources, and whether that be additional partnerships or ideas or even some sort of link to funds. For example, I'll be getting to this in just a little bit, but an example of an additional resource would be a collaboration that the NESZ has formed with the After School Club Network as well as the Council on the Arts, and we are providing summer lessons for our region. Along with that, we were able to provide an opportunity for Council on the Arts partnership as well as an additional grant that they could get additional resources. Therefore, if you make one partnership, it may form into another. Here are a few ideas that you could use as either partnerships, as community partners, events. You could do field trips. Community events or family nights are also a great way to involve outside agencies into your building and program. At the previous school I taught at, for Reading Month, we did a big family night, and 21st Century staff had a session, a room, and or responsibility activity during this event. We were able to use this as one of our events. Think about the connections and the collaborations you do have available to you on site or within your school district. What types of programs do you have available to you? Are there FBLA programs, FCCLA chapters, 4-H? Is there a greenhouse? The list goes on. You could have field trips. And the really neat thing about what the world has come to now is it has opened the doors virtually. Perhaps you can't go physically to a facility, but we could bring them to you. Make sure you use those virtual opportunities. Guest speaker, invite them into your building or invite them into your building virtually. Businesses, stores, connections. Are there students in your program, students in your class that their parents have businesses, their parents are part of the city? Do you have a university or a college near your rural school or in your town? Because those are great places to form partnerships, to make those connections. And when is it appropriate to use community partners to have that community engagement? It can be lots of different reasons, but here are a few ideas. You can connect it to a lesson or activity. You can do them simultaneously, or you can have it be a follow-up, or maybe even have it be an introduction. Invite your guest before you do the activity so they can ask lots of questions and they can learn about it before they dig in. Holidays, other celebrations. seasonal. I know that there are different things, for example, such as in October, Fire Safety Week. Those types of ideas. You can invite firefighters into your building, meet with them virtually. If it's within walking distance, you can walk to the fire station. If you're allowed to take the bus, take a field trip to the fire station. And some of these partnerships may already be formed with the school day. Therefore, tweak it a little bit to meet the needs of your after-school program. I touched a little bit on the Council on the Arts, and I didn't go into great detail because I wanted to take this time right now to go into that with you. But I have a few personal partnership experiences that I would like to share that I feel would be helpful. This year, we were able to create a partnership and collaboration opportunity with the Council on the Arts. We have done this virtually, and it has been a great success. And I feel that it is something that I would like to share because sometimes it is really hard to get people from Jamestown, Bismarck, to come to your rural area here in Devil's Lake or the small schools around us. And the virtual option has allowed us to provide that opportunity not only for our region, but we provided it statewide, which was really awesome. And what we did was we collaborated with 3 different artists so far, and they provided an art lesson, and I introduced them. I came online as I do on my regular Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and for that week, I would introduce the artist, and they would do an art project connecting with, we had 2 different categories that they provided lessons in. The first category was career exploration and community partners, and then the second was social emotional learning. The artists did a really great job of connecting their art to different career opportunities for students. Anything from landscape design to graphic designers, cartoonists, and set designers, lots of different things that even outside of the art world, which was really great experience. But it was really fun because the students were able to create fun art that they were not usually doing. It was basically like having the art and residency program right there for the students, and they had so much fun. We received so many pictures of finished artwork, which I'm going to share a few with you in just a minute. But don't be afraid to reach out to virtual opportunities. I feel that is one way that these partnerships can really grow now that we have really tapped into that virtual world. Don't be afraid to use it. Of course, we want you to do as much local as you possibly can, but understanding that that is not always an option. However, now we have that option virtually for people to come in and be present within your classroom, within your programs. Like I said, I previously had worked in a 21st century program in the last school that I taught at, and we had a lot of students that had farms that lived between 5 and 10 miles, and we had a minibus, and we were able to take the kids, so we got to see cattle, chicks, duck, and we were able to see calves bottle feeding. It was really fun to just have that opportunity. I actually climbed my first hay bale. I did not grow up in the country, so that was a fun opportunity for myself. Think of the local businesses you have. I previously taught in Cooperstown, North Dakota, where they have Dakota Turbines. So we went and checked that place out. That was really, really neat. We also did go to Cheyenne Tooling and checked out those businesses, and of course, making sure that we had safety protocols at those places of business. But of course, those would be communication pieces that you would have. And then also we used the NDSU extensions. We had a health and safety person come monthly, and she would do a health lesson, and it was really fun. And then we also had an agricultural specialist come once a month also. So don't be afraid to reach out outside of your community, although we'd like you to start and have partnerships within your area, within your town, within your community, but also to provide opportunities throughout this beautiful state and beyond, use that virtual opportunity as well. Here are a few finished art projects that they did. One of them is the 3D dimension project. Another was weaving. And then the other one, I think that was the self-portrait abstract. Pretty fantastic things that these students were able to complete. I often told them that it was really fun to see their artwork because it was definitely far better than my own. You can reach out to additional opportunities that can help you out with making those connections and having those ideas. A few of the different opportunities that I have websites for you that you can check out is Million Girls Moonshot, STEM2D, Virtual Job Shadow, Razi Learning, and then NDSU Extensions. And of course, what these are going to do is not necessarily pave the way for every single one in the same way, as we all have different businesses, different areas, and different programs, but they can provide you ideas, opportunities. I know Razi Learning has a lot of really great lessons that have videos and even some interviews of a few different career areas, and they really focus on career opportunities. And you could do one of those lessons and connect it to a career or a business that is within your reach. STEM2D, I have actually a separate segment, and you can check that out if you would like. It goes into a little bit more detail on how that is scoped out. But what I like to do is take a look at these lessons and get ideas of how I could bring people in. And sometimes we just need that little push. So what do we do next? What do we do with all this information now that we have dug into community engagement, community partnerships, and a few different ideas? Create a list of possible partners. Make those contacts, align it with a lesson, complete your partnership form, and have fun. Remember to focus on the kids because that is why we are doing this, and make sure that it is meaningful and purposeful. Of course, it is really awesome to have those fun things in there too, as far as maybe somebody knows how to play the guitar, so you want to bring them in. But how could we make that into something meaningful? How could we make that purposeful even though it is fun? Maybe you can create a lesson on students making their own instrument or making a specific instrument. Just making sure that we have those connections that not only meet the partnership agreement, but meet your goals as your 21st century program. I will leave you with this quote from one of my absolute favorites, Helen Keller. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. I think that's a great way to end a segment on community partners and community engagement, and I hope that you found this helpful. If you need to reach out for any reason, if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to email me. My email address is on the NESC website if you also need it. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day.